Now, Steve, you mentioned this is so new, right? 10 days ago, this conflict looked very different. And one of the things that remains to be proven is if Ukraine holds its ground that it just regained. And there's reporting out today, just this afternoon, that Zelensky is saying that his troops have captured the town of Suja. It is a town, as we were discussing before we started recording, of just 5,000 people. But is that further advancement a sign that the Ukrainian troops are able to hold this new territory?
It's not a sign that they're able to hold it. It is a sign that they can consolidate their hold on some of the territory that they've already claimed, and they seem to have moved beyond it in some places. This will be the challenge for the Ukrainians. They have now moved as much as 20 kilometers or so into Russia and across a front that is, some measures even as much as 100 kilometers. Although we don't have a really good grip on this, and the satellite photography is educating us on that every day. What we do know is that the Ukrainians are going to be digging in furiously to try to make it as hard as possible for the Russians to reverse this new advance, because the Ukrainians know that they were able to seize this territory because it was basically undefended. The Russians had built impressive defensive fortifications inside Ukraine along the front that they had created there. You may remember the term dragon's teeth to describe some of the obstacles that they built against a Ukrainian counteroffensive. They didn't build such fortifications north of the border inside Russia, and that gave the Ukrainians an opportunity to act. What the Ukrainians now want to do is make sure that they are not the victims of a reverse of another Russian counteroffensive against them because their defensive fortifications are not strong enough. So they've got their shovels out. They've got their logs and their concrete, and they're trying to build up quickly in order to make it difficult for the Russians to act and to regain some of this territory. You may see some of these lines moving quickly over the next several days, although I think from what we've seen so far, it looks as though the Russians are pausing and to try to figure out what the hell to do. We don't know yet that they have a strategy for how to act at this point, or any sense of how to assemble the military capabilities that would enable them to act effectively. That's something we're going to have to watch for. What is Putin's choice given his not so great options? One other thing to mention here is that while the political repercussions inside Russia are great, people are suddenly thinking, oh my God, Russians are having to be evacuated from their own territory. Nevertheless, if you look on a map, the little blue spot, the little blue wedge that the Ukrainians have taken inside Russia is very small compared to the territory that the Russians have seized inside Ukraine. That it can be a bargaining chip at all shows you how significant a psychological blow it is for Putin to have this happen at all.